A historic cemetery in East Austin gets some help to recover from neglect.
Overgrown trees and weeds threatened to take over the Bethany Cemetery. It was the city's first cemetery for African Americans during the days of segregation here in Texas. But after falling into disrepair, that cemetery is getting some much needed work. KXAN's Ignacio Garcia has this story.
Sue Spears says she used to watch children play in what appeared to be a dirty, overgrown lot, but something told her there was something special hidden under the weeds.
You could see maybe one of the stones at the front, but I had no idea it was 6 acres of graves here.
Her curiosity turned into a 15-year crusade to clean Bethany Cemetery. Founded in 1893, Spears says this is a place with history waiting to be uncovered.
And I wanted it to, have the respect and the dignity that, those have gone before us really deserved.
But Spears says there was no money and no volunteers available to clean the cemetery. She had to come up with a creative solution. Her community connections put her in touch with the Sheriff's Department Work Alternative Program, or SWAP. Now, nonviolent criminal offenders are cleaning up Bethany and their past mistakes.
These individuals are able to maintain their job and don't have to miss work. So I think that it's a win-win situation for the community.
Dozens of trees have been removed, endless trash bags filled, and still many more to go. But Spears says it's the least anyone can do for those buried under these gravestones that have no voice.
They need to have respect for everything that they went through and experienced so that I can have the freedoms that I have right today.
Ignacio Garcia, KXAN News.
Besides cleanup, there's also a project to document who's buried at Bethany Cemetery. Historians believe there are slaves there and Civil War era soldiers buried alongside each other, but there are also very few records about those graves. We want to know about the history of the Bethany Cemetery. We want you to find out more if you'd like. Historians found records of people being buried at this site as far back as 1875, possibly on a family plot, but it didn't become a cemetery until 1893. It became the final resting place for Austin's African Americans who could not be buried in the city's cemetery, all because of racial discrimination. Back in 1979, it received a historical marker from the state of Texas. It recognizes the significance as Austin's first African American cemetery.